Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance medical copywriter, and today I want to talk to you about writing ad copy, some do's and some don'ts. So I'm going to specifically be talking about Facebook and Instagram ads, and Facebook has purchased Instagram, so they're kind of one and the same, so I'll use them interchangeably. But I've now written copy for and managed over $500,000 in Facebook ads, and I have learned a ton. And it's one of my favorite forms of copy because it involves experimentation. It is a shorter form copy because there is a limit to the amount of copy you can write. And there are direct numbers to kind of tell you exactly what's working and what's not working. And it's great for your portfolio as a freelance copywriter when you can get those numbers. So I really want to encourage you to add it to the skills and the services you provide your clients, because it can really be beneficial for them, but it can also be very beneficial for you. So let's dive into those do's and don'ts. So the first do is to give your audience something valuable. So typically a Facebook ad is either trying to capture an email or it's trying to make a sale. And for my clients, most of the time we're trying to capture that email. And I think the email tactic is a good strategy because it's a little easier to come up with something that your audience would want in exchange for an email. And then you can continue that conversation via email. So it kind of makes it not just like a one-time thing, instead it's something that you can continue a conversation with them, continue to bring them in, show them the benefits of working with you, build that relationship, establish trust and credibility. And so that is the technique I really like. Some e-commerce stores, for example, might just try and get that sale with an Instagram or a Facebook ad. You've probably seen them. It could be jewelry or makeup or a t-shirt or a hoodie, something like that. So that's the kind of ads where they're just trying to make a sale. So if you're not doing that, then I would suggest coming up with something valuable to give your audience in exchange for getting their email. And a really great technique is to give them a piece of free content that they would really like. So it could be a free mini course, it could be a checklist, it could be a planner, it could be a webinar, it could be a strategy session, a call. So those are some ideas. There are tons of ideas for collecting email addresses, and they're typically called opt-ins, which means somebody's opting into your email list. So, but at the end of the day, you just want to remember, give your audience something valuable so that you stand out in the crowd of ads that are on social media today. And so even if you were going to do e-commerce, I would recommend doing, free shipping or a free gift or something like that. Again, that is going to incentivize people to actually click on your ad and interact with you. The next do is to create variations. So for example, if I have a client come to me and say, hey, I want to do Facebook ads, I never just write one ad. I always write minimum 5 variations of copy. So they're basically, without digging too far into the specifics of Facebook and Instagram ads, there are basically 3 elements of an ad. There is the audience, meaning who the ad is going to. Maybe it's women living in the United States. So you have your audience, and then you have the image or the video, and then you have the actual copy or the text. So what you want to do is you want to create variations that you can interchange and test, because this helps the Facebook algorithm do its job. So for example, I would maybe write 5 different versions of the copy, or 3 different versions of the copy, but I usually do more. And then if I had 3 versions of the copy, 3 versions of the image or video, and 3 versions of the audience, I think that would give you 27 variations. So that's a way to kind of give Facebook a lot of different variables to work with. And that is how it will try and get you a lower cost per lead, because that's usually the goal with campaigns. This could be an entire course on its own. In fact, they exist, they're out there. It's a whole specialty is Facebook ads. But just to give you as a copywriter some of the basics, here's what you need to know. So you as a copywriter are generally only responsible for writing that copy, that written part. You are absolutely welcome to give suggestions, but unless you're specializing in Facebook ads, you do not need to know how to run Facebook ads on the back end. So you just want to give it different variations for the algorithm to do its job. The next thing is you really want to focus on benefits over features. And this is a mistake I see a lot. Like, for example, maybe your product or service comes with, let's say, a Facebook group for them to interact with people. People might say, and this includes a Facebook group, like join us. But that's actually the feature. The benefit would be that they get to join a group of like-minded individuals and gain support, further insight, and valuable information. That would be the actual benefit. So make sure you focus on that, and make sure you focus on the emotional side of benefits, because we are emotional creatures and that is how we make decisions. We then rationalize it after the fact. So make sure to touch on the emotional benefits of your product or service. So now for the don'ts. So please don't simply boost a post. That is usually not going to help you very much. So boosting a post might help you get a few more followers or something like that. And if that's your goal, that's fine. But ultimately, if you are a copywriter working for a client, usually they have a bit bigger goal than that. So just boosting a post is generally a waste of money. The other thing I want to say is don't talk to everyone. Make sure early in your copy you call out exactly who you're talking to. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to coaches? Are you talking to people who are interested in becoming writers? Are you talking to people who want to have prettier Instagram stories? Whoever it is, make sure you call that out right away, because you want to make sure that those people's eyes, like their attention is caught on your ad. And keep in mind, like, you won't lose people by, addressing an individual person. You will still gain other people who are interested in your ad, but it is more effective to speak directly to one person. And then the next thing is write ad copy. Don't write ad copy, without consulting Facebook's ad policy. And this is something that's kind of changing, and you don't really need to become an expert in this to start writing ad copy, but you do need to know the basics. For example, there are a lot of phrases you can't use in Facebook ads. An example of that might be work from home, or you really can't make any huge financial claims. So writing copy where you make big money claims is generally frowned upon by Facebook. However, there are ways around it. So you just want to make sure that you're up to date on the basics of ad policy. Another interesting one is that they really don't like when you say you a lot, because they don't want people, when they're scrolling through their newsfeed and they get an ad, to feel really called out, which is interesting because in copywriting, that's one of the most powerful words you can use is you, because it makes the person think about themselves. So keep that in mind. You got to tone it back just a little bit. So those are the 6 pieces of advice I have for you when it comes to writing ad copy. Now let's look at a few examples. So here we go. Let's look at some awesome Facebook ads that I've really liked. This is actually an example from Traffic and Funnels. It is not the actual ad because I forgot to save it, but it is something that I pulled off their Facebook, and it was very similar to an ad I got from them. And it's really awesome because it's kind of playing on the fact that everybody's talking about Tiger King right now. So it says your ideal clients, sardine oil on your offer. If clients were tigers, good advertising would be a gallon of sardine oil, impossible to ignore. Paid advertising, when done intelligently, unlocks a nearly endless supply of new opportunity. So their actual ad also, I'm pretty sure, called out, if you are not making more than $10,000 a month, this is a product for you, which is going to catch anyone's eye who maybe is in the entrepreneur world and looking to increase their sales. So here's another one that I really loved. It caught my eye because it's beautiful. I'm very much a plant lady. And so it was get started in botanical watercolor. And it's a very simple ad. It just says, discover the techniques to create compositions illustrated with plants and flowers. In this course, so you know it's a course, you will learn step by step the processes to make illustrations of botanical composition in a precise way, taking as a model the flowers and plants. So this really caught my eye because I'm a total plant lover. So this is another one from Carolyn Soloto. And it says, after 10 years as a coach, I've devised a very simple 3-step system for growing profitable coaching business. The best part, there is no catch, no sales pitch, just free education, because we believe every coach needs this info to succeed. Click the image to register. So this tells you exactly what it is, who it's for. It's very simple, very straightforward, and it reassures you that there is no catch or sales pitch, which I don't know if that's actually the case. This is another one. Says 5 income streams that made me $500,000, more than $500,000 in 18 months. And so this, I'm wondering a little bit how she got away with this box right here, because that actually can get you flagged in Facebook and Instagram. But she did. So in the copy, it says, my most popular training is available for a free limited time. Full disclosure, 5 income streams got me 127 paying clients in 18 months. The breakdown of the exact steps. Then she has some testimonials right here. And that is the feedback she got. There was no replay, but due to many requests, it's now accessible for free. So she's kind of playing with FOMO right there. And in this training, I break down 5 very simple income streams that, she reiterates the claim. So then this is one by me. I'm sharing how I've helped hundreds of people create thriving writing careers with no experience and no portfolio. So I'm addressing the concern that people think that they can't get started with a writing career if they don't already have the experience and already have a portfolio, because we all got to start somewhere. Then in the actual copy, I went through and I talked about how I walked away from my grueling days for a life of total freedom as a writer, and I wanted more freedom. And I really touch on the freedom part because that is my favorite part about being a freelance copywriter. So anyway, I go into the details, I introduce myself, I tell you exactly in the bottom in my free course, I'm going to show you exactly how hundreds of my students went from having nothing to having a thriving business with copywriting, and we started with no experience and no portfolio. So those are some good examples of ads, and I recommend that everybody saves ads that they really love for their own personal swipe file. And thanks so much for joining me, guys. As usual, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Do you have experiences writing Facebook ads? I want to hear them. It can be a pretty tricky situation to navigate, especially if you're on the back end dealing with Facebook Business Manager. And as always, hit that thumbs up button if you like it. So if you want to see more things like this. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get notifications when new videos are up. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.